Okay, so last day of notes on tangent lines, then we're going to move on to some other stuff. So, first thing, okay, we did one of these last time. Remember, there are two types of questions that you're going to see. One of them is parallel, one of them is tangent. Okay, quick difference here. Parallel lines, what has to be the same? The slope. Tangent lines, you still have to have the same slope plus what else? No, that's perpendicular. The point has to be the same. Okay, so I'm going to put right here, tangent means that you have to have the same slope and the same y value. Okay, the same slope means that they're parallel, but in order for it to be tangent, it also has to touch the function at that point. So they have to have a slope and a y value in common. So when I'm algebraically doing this, I'm going to set f of x derivative equal to y prime, and I'm going to set regular f of x equal to y. So these are my derivatives equal, and these are my originals equal. Okay? So the derivatives being equal give me the same slope. The originals being equal mean my graph is touching my line, that they're at the same y value. Okay? So we did one like this yesterday. We're adding one more. First thing, set the originals equal. So I'm going to have 2x squared plus bx equal to 3x minus 8. So that's my equation of my curve equal to my equation of my line. Then on the other side, I'm going to set my derivatives equal. So what's the derivative of this guy here? 4x plus b. Other side, 3x minus 8, what's the derivative? 3. And then notice that I still have x's and b's in both, and I'm going to have to do a substitution. What do we want to solve for? What letter? I'd say B. So I'm going to take my 4x, I'm going to subtract it across. So B is 3 minus 4x. Then I'm going to take that guy, sub it in right there. So I'm going to have 2x squared plus, 2x squared plus. My B is 3 minus 4x, multiplied by another x, 3x minus 8. Good so far? So we set the originals equal, we set the derivatives equal, now we're doing a substitution. Okay, from here, 2x squared, we're going to distribute this x in. What is x times 3? 3x. Then do the x times the minus 4x. And then just keep going and do the things. Hello? Sure, can I send it maybe a little more towards the end? Okay. Okay, thanks, bye. Wilson, Marla Taylor wants to see you, but she said you can go towards the end. Why? Are you in trouble?
Yes.
For what?
For cussing.
You're lying.
I swear. Off detention. Yeah, I was gonna say Miss Cage knows about it. Mr. Wants Evo.
Who did you cuss at?
I said.
Okay, that is a cuss word.
This is all like Wednesday.
Oh.
Now they calling me for office role.
Oh, Wilson. Just say your.
No, Miss Cage says she has some consequences for me.
You said it to Miss Cage?
No, I didn't say Miss Cage.
Who'd you say it to?
Me. No, like.
Another student?
Yeah, like I was just like.
What?
This is the N-word?
Alright, bro.
Both of them? Together? Oh. Oh.
Bro, that's stupid, bro. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wilson.
I said.
Oh, the video.
No, yeah, I can't believe it, bro.
Oh.
I haven't had an office referral since like 5th grade.
Yeah. One time I got sent to the office and it was fine. You know?
What did you do?
No, but
I had on a short leather skirt.
3 hours of my life.
But I didn't get in trouble. They just told me, you know, it could be longer. So just don't wear that again, you know? But I also had on like leather boots with it. So it's kind of like, it looks a little hoochie for sure. But here was my sneakiness. I didn't wear that out of the house. I kept it in my car and then I changed.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I got busted. Busted. Okay, refocus. Okay. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It could be worse, you know? Okay, combine like terms. What's 2x squared minus 4x squared? Negative 2x squared. Then I still have a plus 3x, but I notice I have one on both sides. Then what will happen? Okay, cancel those guys out. 3x's are gone. So now I just have negative 2x squared equals negative 8. Next step. Negative 2. Then x squared equals what? 4. Square root both sides. X equals plus or minus 2. Good that you remembered both. Now, when you're doing substitution, if you get 2 x's, you're probably going to get 2 different b's as well. So let's find them one at a time. Let's pick positive 2 first. So if x is positive 2, then I need to find the b that goes with that. So b is 3 minus 4 times 2. So that'd be 3 minus 8, which is negative 5. Okay, so those two guys are partners. When x is 2, b can be negative 5. But when x is negative 2, I'll need to find a different b that goes with that. So it'd be b equals 3 minus 4 times negative 2, which is going to turn to a plus 8. 3 plus 8, b will be 11. Got it? Okay. All right, we have 2 more examples, but I need you to have a calculator for both. Then we're going to do some homework. So if you will pick a friend, get them a calculator so you don't have to all get up at the same time. They're over here on the docking stations. If you have your own, use that. Totally fine. But you're going to need a calculator for the last 2. Okay? Pick your favorite friend and get them a calculator. I know. Don't steal it. I know. Alright, here we go. 2 more left. Okay, next question. Next question. Okay, focus. Okay, ready? Ready? Okay, let's go. Okay, find x values where f of x is parallel to g of x. Then write the equation of the tangent line to f at that value. So we're going to just go over some quick calculator stuff. Make sure you guys know how to use these. They're exactly the same as your other calculators, except for they're brighter and prettier and the picture's a little better. Okay, so first thing, if I want them to be parallel, what do I do? Okay, slopes need to be equal, so what do I do with my equations? Set what equal? The derivatives, yeah? So parallel, okay, since your quiz tomorrow's open notes, I'm going to put set derivatives equal. Okay, remember, parallel means same slope means equal derivatives. So what's the derivative of f of x? Okay, if it's sine, the derivative is Cosine x. Okay, g is a quadratic. What will g prime be? Okay, x squared derivative is 2x, 4x the derivative is plus 4, derivative of plus 5 is nothing, goes away. Okay, from there, if I want those to be equal, okay, especially on the AP test, you're going to set them equal on your paper, then solve in the calculator. So I'm going to let cosine x equal 2x plus 4, then you're going to solve by graphing. Okay, do we remember how to solve by graphing? Okay, you just graph both equations and then look for where they intersect. Very good. So, you're going to type in cosine x as your y1, 2x plus 4 as your y2. Okay, then we'll review how to solve in case you forgot, but hopefully you know how to do it already. Okay, so y1, I'm typing in cosine x. And y2, I'm typing in 2x plus 4, so it should look just like that. Okay, then I'm going to go into my graph and look for where those guys cross each other. So, here we go. And look, they're color-coded. Okay, there's cosine. Okay, cosine we know just goes like this all day. Okay, then I have my line drawn in. Okay, it goes like that. This dot right here, that's the x value where they intersect. Do you remember how to find it?
Yeah.
Okay, second trace, intersect. You do not have to write these steps down if you remember how to do it. And then remember, you're going to have to push enter 3 times. Okay? So I'm going to do it now in the calculator if you need to watch. So second trace. Go down to option 5, intersect. Okay, then you're going to push enter through first curve, enter, second curve, enter, guess, enter. Okay, on the calculus test, you need to go to 4 decimal places. So I'm going to put x equals negative 2.3521. Now, that is an x value. What other 2 things do I need at that point?
Y value and a slope.
A y value and a slope. Those are the ingredients for the equation of a tangent line. So for part 1, I'm done. But for the equation of a tangent line, I have a little bit more work to do. So the first thing I'm going to write here is point. I know my x value is negative 2.3521, comma, and then I'm going to have to find the y value. Now, where will I plug that value in if I want the y value? F of x, which is the original, which was sine x. So, if I want f of that value, okay, you can't do that in your head. It's going to be the sine of that number. I'm just going to be lazy and put that. Okay, it's the sine of that number. Now, question, can I use the y value that's already in my calculator? Okay, no, because that's what? Cosine, right? I don't want the derivative, I want the original. So I'm going to come out to my regular calculator. I'm going to find the sine of negative 2.3521. 4 decimals every time. Y value is negative 0.7099. Remember, you're going to 4 decimals, cut it off, don't round. So negative 0.7099. Don't round, just cut it off. 4 decimals, chop it. Yes? You should be in radian mode in your calculator, yes. Always. Okay, next I need the slope. How do I find the slope? Okay, I need to find f prime at that number. Okay, now I'm going to show you a shortcut for that. Remember how that's already in your calculator? Look at your y equals. See how it's already cosine x, yeah? So what you can do is pretend it was like a long, complicated equation and not that easy. In your regular calculator mode, so push second quit, you're going to pick the function name using alpha trace and then pick y1. Now remember, y1 is already my derivative. Then if I want to plug that in, you can just put a parentheses and then type it in. And it'll plug it in for you. Okay? So you would just pick the function name off the list, parentheses, and then whatever number you want to type in. Now, if it was a whole number, I could just use the table. But since it's like a weird decimal, that's a shortcut that you can use, okay? Alpha trace. Yeah, so watch. One more time. You're going to push alpha trace, then pick y1 off the list, because that's what I want to plug it into. And then I'm going to type in the decimal I want to plug in.
It's not going to be on the quiz, is it?
No, but it will be on your next test. And also keep in mind, you could have just typed in cosine the number and gotten the answer that way too. Okay? So that's my slope, 0.7042. And then from there, can we write the equation, the tangent line? Okay, using the ingredients, I do y plus 0.7099, negative 0.7042 is my slope, x plus 2.3521. Now also remember, just in the interest of time for your quiz tomorrow, if it doesn't say to solve it for y equals mx plus b, don't. You're going to waste time doing that if it's unnecessary and you don't have to. Okay? Alright, one more like that. Last one. Your first equation is going to be e to the x. And your second equation is going to be 2x cubed minus 2x squared plus 6. Okay, you're going to find x values, plural, where f of x is parallel to g of x. Okay, so remember, even if you have a calculator to solve, you write down the derivatives on your paper, you label them, then you set them equal, then you pick up the calculator, yeah? Okay, this is especially for your response. So, what is f prime going to be? Still e to the x. Derivative of e to the x is itself. What will g prime of x be? Okay, 6x squared. Next term? Minus 4x. Next term? Goes away, right? Because it's a plus 6, so derivative is 0. From there, you're taking these two guys, setting them equal. First on your paper, then in the calculator to find where they cross. So, e to the x equals 6x squared minus 4x. Then you're going to graph and solve. Okay, but you could not be asked to do those without a calculator. Okay, so you're typing 1 in as y1, 1 in as y2. You should see they cross twice. And then just make sure you know how to find those two intersections. So e to the x is my first function. 6x squared minus 4x is my second function.
Second.
Okay, there's your e to the x. There's your quadratic. And do you see that they cross twice?
Yes.
Okay, so second trace, option 5 is intersect. Then enter 3 times, go kind of slow, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's my first guy. They intersect at negative 0.1685. Okay, then how do I find the second one? Second trace 5. Enter, and then under guess, just type in a number close to the other one. So I'm going to put 1.5 as my guess. You could also use the arrow, over to the other one, and then push enter there. Okay, so 1.1228. Good? Got it? Questions?
No.
Cool. Okay, so pass your calculators up. I'm going to give you some questions to do. We're going to do a little together, and then y'all will do a little as well. We said homework 10. What question, mine? Number 9?
Yes, please.
Can I have another copy of that?
Sure. Okay, get out homework 10, question number 9. You don't need your calculator anymore, so somebody from your room, maybe come put them back. Make sure you push them down so they're charging. Anybody else need homework 10? Let's start with you.
I did it.
Okay, homework 10, question 9.
Wow.
You put 9.
Oh, I'm so good at that. Okay, which question 9 then? I guess I need to ask. Yeah. Okay, homework 10, which question 9, Mai? The multiple choice one or the other one?
Multiple choice one.
Okay. Alright, what two things do you need to write the equation of a tangent line? Point and a slope. First thing I'm going to write down is my point. Second thing is my slope. This is homework 10. Homework 10. Okay, for the point, I already know part of it. What is my x going to be? Okay, -2. They told me right there. Now, I want to be tangent to h of x. So when I plug in, am I plugging into f?
No.
No, I'm plugging into h. So I want h of -2. Okay, well look, they gave you an equation. What did they tell me h of x is? Double f of x plus 5. So I want double f of -2 plus 5. Does that make sense so far?
Okay.
Okay, look at your chart. I need to know what f of -2 is. Well, lucky for us, there's a chart that tells me that at -2, what's f? 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 5, what's my y value? 11. So instead of me having to plug it in by hand, I have a chart right there. I can just pull that value from there. Now, when I want the slope, I have to take the what? Derivative. So if I have h, I want h prime. Okay, well if h is 2f of x, what's the derivative of that? What's the derivative of f called? F prime. So it'll be 2f prime of x. What about the plus 5 though? Okay, that's a constant. Derivative of a constant is 0, goes away. So that's h prime of x. I want h prime of -2. Then I want 2 times f prime of -2. Where will I find f prime of -2? Yep, use the table again. So this time, since I'm on the derivative, I want f prime. F prime is what at -2? -5. What's 2 times -5? -10. So from there, I have my point, -2, 11. I have my slope, -10. Which equation do you automatically know is wrong because of the slope? C and D. My slope was supposed to be -5. -10, and those slopes are -5. How do I pick A or B? You put it in point slope, and then you solve it. So, what will my point slope version be? Y minus 11, -10, x plus 2. And then remember, if it's multiple choice like that, you're just going to solve it to match which answer. So, -10 distributed in. What do I get? -10x plus or minus 20? Minus 20. Then how do I get rid of the minus 11? Plus it. -20 plus 11, what do we get? -10x minus 9. Answer choice B. Good? Okay, you remember how to find horizontal tangents? What do? Something about 0. What needs to equal 0? The equation's derivative. Yeah? Okay, so do we want to do a trig or the quartic one, number 10? Quartic. Okay, what's y prime? So I'm going to put here, set y prime equal to... Wait, do you unpick that? You don't want to pick it? You still pick it? Okay, what's the derivative? Okay, now also, that should say hint, not hein. Can't count, can't spell. Okay, first thing on your paper should be y prime equals. Okay, a lot of y'all missed points for labeling stuff on your last test. So we said 12x to the 3. What else? What's my next term? Okay, 30x squared. Next term? 72x. What about the plus 7? Goes away. Derivative of 0 is a constant. Okay, from there, how do we factor? 6 is the biggest. So I'm going to do 0 equals 6x is coming out. Okay, and notice I'm setting it equal to 0 on my paper. Okay, 12x cubed, now it's a what? 2x squared. 30 divided by 6 leaves a 5x. 72 divided by 6 leaves a 12. Notice the x is now gone. Okay, from there I'm going to do my little x thing over here. So 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. I need a difference of negative 5. Who are my partners? 3 times 8. Now, if I want a minus to get a negative 5, which one needs to be negative? The 8. Then from there, to avoid having to group, I'm going to divide by 2x and reduce. Okay, but if you love the grouping, do the grouping, it's fine. Okay, 3 will not reduce over 2x, but 8 will. What's 8 divided by 2? Negative 4 over x. So my factors are 6x in the front, 2x plus 3, and then x minus 4. Good? From there, what are my 3 values? Okay, where does the 0 come from? That's correct.
6x.
The 6x. Anytime x is outside, 0 is a factor. What about this guy? Negative 3 over 2, and then last one, 4. Easy?
Yeah.
Good.
Why did you say
Way too easy. Huh? We're going to do linear approximations later. Just cross out 13 for now. We haven't done that yet.
For now or for
Don't scribble it all the way out, but just exit for now. It's not on your quiz tomorrow. So you'll know how to do it by Friday. Okay, go to number 6. Last one we're doing off this homework. Okay, number 6, what 2 things do I need for the equation of a tangent line? Okay, point and a slope. What do I know about my slope? Or my point? X is 1. How do I find the y value? Okay, so I'd have y equals 2. 1 minus 3? Negative 2, but absolute value turns into a positive 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, I have the point. To get the slope, look at your little hint. You have to use the graph. Now, you shouldn't need a calculator for that. Okay, which way am I shifting the graph if there's a minus 3? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And then my v goes like this, yeah? Okay, what are the slopes of the sides of the v?
2.
One side is 2, one side is negative 2. Which one's which?
2 is the right side.
Okay, positive is on the right, negative is on the left. So if I'm at x equals 1, which side of the v am I on? 1 is here, so I'm on the negative 2 slope, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Okay? So then from there, you should be able to do it. You'll write your equation. So I'd have y minus 4. My slope is negative 2. X minus 1. We see it up there?
Yeah.
Letter C. Okay.
letter A. Oh wait. What did you put?
What? A has a positive 2 slope.
I thought you were going to put positive.
Okay, so we have to pick negative because if I'm at 1, that's right here. Right? So the vertex is at 3. So anything before 3, I use a negative slope. Anything after 3, I use the positive slope. Okay, homework 11. You just picked it up today. Well, how much time do we have left? 21, 33. Ooh, all right. I'm going to pick the ones that you should know how to do for tomorrow. What do you do for parallels? Okay, good. Go to number 3.
Alright, but yeah, you killed it.
Okay, number 3. Find values of x where f prime is equal to 4 for the function. What should you do? Okay, take the derivative. What's the derivative of that guy?
Close.
3x squared. Then when I times the 2 on the 11 halves, only the 11 stays. Then x is to the 1. Okay, I have the derivative. What do I do next?
Equal to 4.
Good. Plug in 4?
No. Set it equal to
Yeah. Okay, then from there, if it's quadratic, you're going to get 2 solutions by factoring. So I'm not going to finish that, but you should know how to. So you'd have your 11x minus 4, then factor. Good on that? Okay, number 4, right below it. What are you going to have to do to take the derivative of cubic root x to the 5th?
Rewrite it.
Rewrite, very good. How will you rewrite cubic root x to the 5th? X to the 5/3. Okay, take the derivative, don't say it out loud. So I rewrite it as a power over a root. And now I'm going to take the derivative. So my 5/3 comes down to the front. And then if I'm minus 1, that's like a 3/3. What's 5/3 minus 3/3? 2/3. Okay, so there's my f prime. Now look at your equation of your line. It's all messed up. We're going to have to fix it. What's step 1? Okay, so 3y equals positive 45x plus 37. Okay, then next step. Okay, when you divide by 3, you're doing it on all of the values present. So you'll get y equals, what's 45 divided by 3? Now, 37 over 3, I'm just going to leave it, because when I take the derivative, what's going to happen to that? It's going to go away anyway. Nobody cares. So, what's y prime?
15.
Okay, so the slope of my line is 15. I want this to be parallel to it, so I'm setting them equal. Very good. So, I'm letting 5/3 x to the 2/3 be equal to 15. What's step 1 to solve? Divide by 5/3. How do you do that? Multiply by 3/5. So if I want to get rid of a fraction, I'm going to multiply by its reciprocal. So my 3/5 and my 5/3 are gone. When I bring my x down, I'm going to bring it down as a squared and a cubic root. I'm going to convert it back just for solving. So x is squared with a cubic root. Then what is 15 divided by 5? 3 times by the other 3? It's a 9. Or you could do 15 times 3, get 45, then divide, you still get 9. It doesn't matter what order. Okay, from there, how do I get rid of the squared? I'm going to square root first. So squared and square root cross out. What's the square root of 9?
3.
3. So I have the cubic root of x is plus or minus 3. Okay, so I crossed out my squared by applying a square root. And now I want to get rid of my cubic root. I'll do what? Cube. Then what is 3 if I cube it? 27. What is negative 3 if I cube it? Negative 27. So it's plus or minus 27. Now, for those of you guys that wanted to cube both sides first, that's fine, but you probably don't know what 9 cubed is off the top of your head. So that's why I'd root it first and then cube it second, so your numbers don't get crazy. Okay? Alright, we got time for one more. Flip over to the back. Last one we're gonna do. The last one is gonna be number 8. No, 7. Okay, number 7. What do I want my equations to be? Parallel? No, what? Tangent. That means two things are equal. Derivatives and Originals. So let's do originals first. So x squared minus kx needs to be equal to 4x minus 9. Okay, but then I have to stop there because I have two sets of letters. I need another equation. So now I'm setting their derivatives equal. What's the derivative of x squared minus kx? K minus k. Good. Other side, derivative of 4x minus 9 is 4. What to do next? Okay, yeah, I'm going to solve for the k. So I'm going to add my k across. So now it's a 4 plus k, and then I'm going to minus my 4 across. Okay, then once you get there, you're circling this substitution. You're plugging it in where k is. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second to work that next step out. Be careful with your signs. So I have x squared minus k, 2x minus 4. Oops, hold on, no more k. 2x minus 4. Okay, tell me if this is right or wrong. X squared minus 2x squared minus 4x. Okay, no, that's wrong, because why?
There's another x.
Okay, when you multiply this negative with the negative 4, it should be a what? Plus 4x. Careful on that. Okay? Put these first two guys together. What is 1x squared minus 2x squared? Negative x squared. Then I have a plus 4x on both sides. What can happen there? Okay, subtract them and they cross out. Then if negative x squared is negative 9, then x squared is regular 9, which means x is what? Plus or minus 3. Then remember, if you get two x values, you're going to get two k values. Yes?
So we have derivatives equal to each other.
Yep.
Slope.
To find where the slopes match. And you set the originals equal, because why? Because tangent means they have to have the same y value too. So think about like a tangent line. Your graph has to be touching the line and have the same slope. That's why you're setting both equal. Okay? So when x is 3, that means that k would be 2 times 3 minus 4. 6 minus 4, k is 2. That would be my first partner. Then I'd let x equal negative 3, and then find the k that goes with that. So it'd be 2 times negative 3, and then minus 4. So that'd be negative 6 minus 4, k is negative 10. Got it? Okay, you can do it. Bring your notes. Open notes tomorrow. Mu Alpha Theta after school on Wednesday. Test corrections after school tomorrow and Thursday. Okay? And then if you're concerned about your grade, remember it doesn't count for eligibility. So if you're worried about test corrections and that deadline, doesn't count for AP, but you still need to get it taken care of. Okay?